This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
Bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the sergeants and WO1s. Bless all the corporals and their blinking sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. As back to the village they crawl. You'll get no promotion this side of the ocean, so cheer up, my lads, bless 'em all.
Good. Right. Okay, well, how many people are in the street altogether? Yeah? Well, don't forget we need the full name of every single person there. That's really important. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Well, let me know later. Thanks. Hello there. Nice of you to pop in and see me. I'm sorry about that, but we've been a bit busy this last week, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Mr. Birchall, or you can call me Mr. B, and I'm the Chief Air Raid Warden for this sector, which you can tell by this white hat here. The date today is the 10th of September 1939, and exactly a week ago today, on the 3rd of September, our Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, told us the terrible news that we were at war with Germany again, and that we'd be finally standing up to that ugly bully, Adolf Hitler, a funny little bloke with a silly moustache. Now, this isn't the only time this has happened, because 21 years ago, in 1918, the First War, what we now call the Great War, ended after over 4 years of horrible fighting all over the world. I know for a fact because I was there, and I spent most of it in a place called the Somme in France, fighting off both the Germans and the rats in the trenches with a rifle clogged with mud and filthy water. I don't know. Me and the other lads who were there thought it'd never happen again. But that's enough about old history. Let me tell you a little bit about today, a little bit more about what's happening now in 1939, and why I'm here and what I do. The service I work for is called the ARP, which stands for Air Raid Precaution, and this cosy little place that you find me in is my Chief Warden's post. This is only one of thousands of others just like it all around the country, with other wardens just like me. In fact, to give you an idea of how many there are, there's another 9 in this square mile around here alone. Now, they're not all on street corners or made of metal and sandbags like my fancy place here. Some are in shops, offices, or even people's homes. But mine is just a little bit special, because this is where I need to coordinate all the other wardens in the area who normally wear the black helmets, and it's our job to protect everyone in case there's an air raid. Now, if you don't know what an air raid is, let me tell you. It's when the enemy drops bombs from the sky to try and damage our homes and factories and hurt our families, which of course none of us want. Now, the war's only a week old, and I hope that we're wrong, but what we think is going to happen is that the Germans are going to try to bomb us into submission, just like they have started to do with the rest of Europe. They're going to try and do this to break our British spirit, so at some time in the future they can invade. But it's not going to be as easy as that. Let me tell you why. 2 years ago, in 1937, the government guessed what Hitler was up to and made an announcement on the radio for volunteers like me to come and protect the country. And that's why me and hundreds of thousands of other ARP personnel are now all trained and waiting for the bombs to fall, just so we can send Adolf and the rest of his daft Jerry bombers packing back to where they came from. So, here I am, fully trained and ready to help anyone who needs it, and I'll keep doing it until the whole thing is over and everyone is safe again. Now, I notice you're looking a bit tired, so let's try and wake you up a bit. How about a little quiz to see if you've been listening? Maybe just 2 or 3 questions? We'll do it like this. I'll say the questions once, and then I'll give you the answers, and then you can put your hand up to vote for them, and we'll check if you're right. Okay? Here's the first question. On what date did our Prime Minister announce that we were at war with Germany? Was it A, the 3rd of September 1938, B, the 3rd of September 1939, or C, the 3rd of September 1940? So put your hand up now if you think it was A, the 3rd of September 1938. Good, okay. And put your hand up now if you think it was B, the 3rd of September 1939. Okay. And put your hand up now if you think it was C, the 3rd of September 1940. Okay. The correct answer was, wait for it, B, of course, the 3rd of September 1939. Just a week ago today. So well done if you got that right. Now, let me see. Question 2. I've got it. That last one was obviously far too easy. So let's give you a trickier one this time. How many Warden's posts did I say were within 1 mile of this post here? Was it A, 19, B, thousands, or C, 9? Okay, hands up again. If you think it's A, which was 19, put your hand up now. Okay, if you think it's B, thousands, put your hand up now. Okay, and if you think the number I said was C9, put your hand up now. Okay, and the answer was C9, and thank goodness too. It's hard enough managing 9 other Wardens, and I hate to think what it would be like to manage thousands. Anyway, fancy our last question? Here we go. Are you ready? What are the names of the current world leaders that I have mentioned today? Are they A, Adolf Hitler and Neville Chamberlain, B, Neville Hitler and Adolf Chamberlain, or C, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy? Here goes. Hands up for A, Adolf Hitler and Neville Chamberlain. Okay. And hands up for B, Neville Hitler and Adolf Chamberlain. Okay. And hands up for C, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Okay. Well, I hope you got that one right. The answer was A, of course, Adolf Hitler and Neville Chamberlain. We'd be in a right pickle if Laurel and Hardy were in the country, and I don't think it'd be very nice if our own Prime Minister was called Adolf. Anyway, well done to everyone who got the right answers, and I'll pop back later to ask you some more. Before I hand you over to your teacher though, let me tell you about something that we're going to do each week, and that's to talk about some of my duties here and to look at some of the items that I use. The first thing I should mention is that all of these duties are designed to keep people safe, and we've been trained to do them in the last 2 years, so that now we feel that we're ready for anything the Jerrys can throw at us. The duty we're going to look at this week is what my job is in the event of a gas attack, and I have some items here to show you that help me to do just that. Well, the first thing I have to do is to sound the rattle here like this. Loud, isn't it? It still gives me shivers. I remember them being used in the First World War when we was gassed, and it just brings back a lot of horrible memories. This tells people that the gas is in the air, so they need to put the gas masks on and to get into a shelter quick. Now, they're really useful for me because I'd normally use my whistle to get attention. Of course, when I've got my mask on, I can't do that. Just get in the way. Afterwards, when the gas is clear, I have to sound my handbell like this. I think you'll agree. Sorry. I think you'll agree that they're both pretty good ways to let people know what's happening. Very recognisable. Of course, all of these warnings won't be any good without gas masks. And one of my duties for the last few months has been handing them out to the general public, making sure they fit okay, and personally, I think this is a really important job. In fact, we have so many people in the country that even now the war has started, some people don't have them. So if you see anyone out and about who doesn't have one, send them to me straight away so I can make sure that they're nice and safe. Now, there are different types of gas that cause different levels of harm to people, such as those that burn your skin, which are called blister gas, for which we have a special ointment in our first aid kit here, and others which blind or choke you. But one thing's for certain, and that's that every one of them is a pretty evil creation. Now, as I said before, I know what it's like from the First War to be gassed, so I guess that's why I'm one of the best people to hand out these. This is what we call a civilian gas mask or respirator, and it offers the very basic but essential protection for civilians against gas. It's meant to be carried in a cardboard box like one of these, around your shoulder on the string here. Now, they're not the most comfortable thing to lug around, but at the moment everyone, no matter how important you are or how safe you think you are without it, must carry them at all times, just to make sure that you're safe. As you can see, it has a device called a filter on the front. This is designed to take all the bad chemicals out of the gas when people breathe through it, so that they don't cough and choke when they breathe. Then they breathe out through the sides here, while looking through this clear panel here. Now, even though this is quite a simple device, it's a lifesaver all the same, and it'll be absolutely essential if Adolf gets round to dropping gas bombs on us. As I said, this is a civilian respirator, and it's designed for use for just a short period of time until the person wearing it can get to a shelter. However, those of us on official duties, such as ARP wardens and the police, fire and ambulance service, have a different one that's much heavier and much thicker. Can you guess why this is? I'll let you think for a second. Let's see if you guess right. Well, the reason for this is because we might need to wear them for a longer period of time while we stay out in the gas to help people. Were you right? Good. You'll notice that as well as the thicker rubber and glass, it also has this tube here that's a one-way valve that allows us to breathe out easily. It makes a very funny sound, but that doesn't matter if you're surrounded by gas, I can tell you. Now, these aren't the only types I have. There's another couple I want to show you as well, which I think you'll find a lot more interesting. So, while I nip off to get them, I'll hand you back over to the teacher, who I think has some work for you to do. And I'll tell you what, if you promise to try hard in your work, I'll see if I can fit another quiz in afterwards as well. So, thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. Ta-ta for now.